and welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. Today I'm in Portland, Oregon at the Freakybuttrue Peculiarium. I can't even say it, and that says something about this attraction. This is on the outskirts of Portland, residential area, and I will take you inside and show you what is truly a cabinet of curiosities. So please come on the journey with me now. Okay, so here we go, the Freakybuttrue Peculiarium. I can say that 100 times and I still will struggle with it, so maybe I won't use that part of the title. But the basic premise here is it's a venue that is a part, the first half, which I'll actually show you at the end of the video, is a gift shop which has very eclectic items, as I think you'll see. And this particular part we're going through now is a mini museum, a museum of the eclectic, I guess we could say. It is $5 to get in, and I think it's well worth it. You know, just for that Bigfoot art, among other things you'll be seeing in our tour here. It's, I guess, what you'd call bizarre, gothic, avant-garde, curious, campy, kitschy, you know, all those things combined. It's one of those places I think that you go to and it definitely has a Portland vibe to it, I guess I would say. I wouldn't expect to see this in the Midwest. And to be honest with you, I didn't check out every single item here. There's actually, most people online will say it's pretty small, and it doesn't take you that long. But if you really want to go into depth and look at everything in the museum section, I think you could spend an hour or more here. There's a lot of stuff where you can look inside of things, and maybe in a couple cases I get some camera shots of that. Really weird art, a lot of zombie themed art. I have to say this art right here on the wall to our right is really cool, sort of the play on the quaint painting and then turn it into something rather demonic or strange or zombie-like or whatever. The world's smallest theater, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's true, but it is maybe one site among many other sites at the Freakybuttrue here in Portland that suggests something really out of the ordinary. I was going to say that this particular venue, it was a pretty long haul for me. You have to look it up on the map, but it's next to, fairly close to this really good brewery called Breakside, which I think is an up-and-coming brewery there. I visited on a fairly rainy day. This is a confession box. I think I just wrote hi or something on it. I didn't really know what to write. I think I was camera shy or something like this. But it would be curious to see what people confess to here in this version of their confessional. So anyway, rainy day. I said I have to go check this place out, and I grabbed, I went here first, and then I grabbed a beer, really good beer, and some nachos at Breakside, which is just around the corner. And it's kind of this area of Portland that has a lot of, I don't know, just different various various eclectic attractions, but that could describe a lot of areas in Portland. But a lot of interesting places, I guess, is what I would say, including the brewery Breakside. This is their Blood and Guts exhibit here, and I read online that there was a feature that talks about the worldwide trade in organ parts, and I didn't get a chance to see that. This was, you could take your picture inside a coffin, and I think, I don't know if I have video of it, but there was a couple there on the day I visited, and they were really excited about that, and they took some photos. You could see with the guts thing, perhaps it would not be the best thing for children, but who knows? In our society today, I think, you know, kids grow up pretty fast, so who knows if this would even be shocking to them. Probably not. You know, the focus on like the material culture here, the paintings, I have to say the mixture of items in a relatively small space was pretty cool, actually. There's a theremin right there. If you know what a theremin is, you wave your hand on it and it makes a cool sound. Some of those freaky paintings on the right side, just really interesting, right? Like a combination of folk art, but with weird sort of ties to sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal stuff, gothic horror. There's even some alien stuff, so conspiracy theories. It really is sort of a combination of like multiple, I guess I would say, countercultures or curiosities that people have in the world. I have a still shot there on the video. I think what I was doing was, I often do this on my video trips, I'm constantly like taking video, in this case with the GoPro and the gimbal stabilizer, and then also taking still shots with the iPhone actually. So you'll get some of the still shots maybe more in the second attraction, which is the actual gift shop that we're going to look at in a little bit. We're looking at more of the curious items, and I guess you could say that at this particular venue in Portland, every single item is curious. There was nothing boring here. This is a zombie brain, I think. Sorry, trying to remember if this is a zombie outbreak thing. But kind of cool, you know, like a little video loop playing inside. And there's always a lot of, I think, creativity that goes into something like this. It's probably like the Madhouse or Funhouse that, yeah, it's on the diseased zombie brain video feature of all things. But this is the kind of thing that probably a lot of us maybe would dream of creating. There's a little kaleidoscope thing, but never would, right? So it's kind of a cool thing. It's a Portland thing. I think some people would probably say, like, it's touristy and it's a tourist trap, but I don't know. I never felt that, and I probably should have felt that, but for some reason, I just found it so interesting that I couldn't critique it. I still can't critique it. There's no critique of this theme space I could offer you. What would you possibly change? If you change anything, you would destroy, I think, the whole purpose of it. And so, quite obviously, I would argue that there's nothing to change in this space because it's absolutely perfect for what it is. Is it everyone's cup of tea? Probably not, right? It's not the thing for everyone, but I guess you could say who cares, right? When you go to a city like Portland, there are so many cool things to see that you can certainly pick and choose the attractions that you want to seek out as a guest. Okay, so we're spinning back around here. Probably going to get some repetition in the footage, but only because I'm trying to pan up and down. As you can tell, there's a lot of stuff to be seen here. And I will not describe everything to you because I don't exactly know what I'm seeing in all cases, you know, other than to say there's some strange stuff here. Yeah. As you can say, it's a space that defies, I guess, your expectations. Getting a little close-up here of the guts section, we have... I should have all of you collectively do the narration here because I'm trying to figure out what I'm seeing. This is the alien autopsy thing, and you can actually, I didn't do this, but you can go under the table there and you can have your head sticking out and take a nice photo op here with the aliens conducting the autopsy. I did read online, you know, like on sites like Yelp and review sites, there's a little Star Trek as well. Why not throw it in? But I read online that some people felt that it maybe had a, you know, sort of a carnivalesque side of things, right? In the sense of it being too kitschy or something like that. But I think that's exactly what the whole point of it is, right? That's the whole point of this type of attraction. There's Al Capone's vault, a little homage to the old spectacle of years past with Geraldo opening the vault and essentially finding nothing. I actually remember that when I was much younger watching that on TV. We've got some miscellaneous Geiger counters, a lot of ephemera here. This wall here reminds me of, say, a store like Paxton Gate or something like that with all the insects and the strange devices. And we're going behind here, the alien autopsy, and we're getting some really cool light effects. And we will, I guess, take a peek out here. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like it. So you see the bats and stuff, and that's our perspective from the inside. So if you go and visit this wonderful place in Portland, you could certainly check things out on your own and take some of those photos, one-of-a-kind photos, post them on social media, whatever. The alien autopsy. Spinning back around, we've got the Al Capone's vault as well. And I'm getting some serious, never have too few or too many still photos in some cases. Okay, I thought what we do now is leave the $5 museum and go back into the gift shop itself. And so if you don't pay the admission, you can just visit the gift shop and look at all the eclectic items. I took just a bunch of stills in this section. This is actually outside. You see the ice cream stand, so you can buy ice cream that they have insects that you can put inside, so it adds to the mystery. You could see just the street scene and some of the eclectic mannequins and odd items they have outside the store attracting people, the zombies and the like. So probably for most people walking by, right, this is immediate sign of, I think, what is going to be found inside the store. Cheap, weird stuff, and that's probably a good way of describing what you see here at the Freakybuttrue Peculiarium. Still trying that. I'm still trying to say it, and for some reason, oh look, there's a Bernie 2016 sign there. Interesting, to say the least. So maybe they're Bernie supporters. I don't know if Bernie Sanders would approve. He doesn't strike me as so much of a avant-garde subcultural guy, but who knows. And here's the Bigfoot. So as you walk in, you have this towering Bigfoot that you see, and it's one of, I think, many forms of homage to Bigfoot and paranormal interest in Yeti, Bigfoot, etc. You can buy so many items related to Bigfoot. You can also you can actually purchase some of those items in the museum itself that we saw, that has a these paintings, these interesting paintings they've created with various Bigfoot, alien, zombie art, and so forth. And you see a few of those above there. I actually kind of like that one, Bigfoot just looking across this idyllic pond. There were some really cool takes on sort of traditional art that you see that's been given, I think, new life or remade life here at the Peculiarium. And there's more Bigfoot stuff. If you studied Bigfoot, certainly there are anthropologists out there that study Bigfoot. You would certainly want to make this a stop on your sort of very funny Bigfoot postcard flipping off the viewer. But if you're studying Bigfoot, I think you'd certainly want to make this part of your a stop for your research to think about maybe the various pop culture representations of Bigfoot. What else do we have going on here? We have all sorts of goofy, there's more Sasquatch stuff, the mugs. We have goofy glasses that you can purchase. There's a bunch of interesting bottled souls and chemistry for sale. Kind of expensive, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're actually getting a soul, though, potentially that has the opportunity to be very interesting and very maybe effective, but it remains to be seen what you're actually purchasing there. Odd items here. And, some of these items, as I mentioned earlier, strike me certainly of having something in common with some of the cool boutique stores that you find in Portland, whether it's Flutter or Paxton Gate or stores of that nature that have really interesting items and eclectic items. There's more of the Bigfoot art that you can see on the wall there on the right. I don't know if you just saw that, but that anti-inspirational poster I thought was kind of cool. Here's some of that art that I guess is probably repurposed art, where you take the art, you may buy it at a garage sale, and then you paint on top of it. So kind of cool. There was some definitely cool art stuff for sale. We're actually back inside some of the museum space, which has this art for sale with various interesting scenes you can purchase. Looks like, is that Bela Lugosi as Dracula with a very curious scene. So if you can figure some of this out. Now here is, if I'm saying it right, Krampus, the folklore figure that is described as the anti-Santa. And you saw that actually right as we entered the museum. Here's a little more from the gift shop. You can get glow-in-the-dark flesh-eating zombies, loads and loads of like cool stuff. This stuff probably will offend people, but obviously I don't think they're too concerned about offending people with their items either in the museum. The guest is not always right in this particular case. And maybe we need one more obligatory Bigfoot shot there, which again is the greeting when you enter the Freakybuttrue Peculiarium. I think I'm actually getting better saying it as we go through the video. Here again is the ice cream stand where you can purchase your bug items. very good conversation with the gentleman that was working that day when I visited. There weren't a ton of people there, which was fine by me because then I could walk around and take some video and stills and not be bothered. So if you're in Portland, you have to check it out. It's a cool place. It's a wonderful place. It's a strange place. It's not for everybody. But again, Portland has an aesthetic, an ethos, a feel that is or rather unlike most cities that I've experienced. So that is it here today in Portland. I hope you enjoyed the video feature today here in Portland, Oregon at the, if I can say it right, Freakybuttrue Peculiarium. How's that? Does that work? In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video feature, and please come back for additional ones here on the Immersive World's Handbook channel.